Let's take a look at the Zoom H6 audio recorder. This is the brand new 2020 all black edition. It's got the microphone painted black, but here's a hint. It's exactly the same recorder, complete with the obsolete mini USB jack, not a micro USB or USB-C jack from 2013. The only difference is to raise revenue, Zoom decided to rebrand it the all black edition, remove the MS microphone capsule, not include a case, not include the cord, not include the windscreen, change this color to black. So if you can still get the older model, and there are links to that on my full review on my website, you can get more accessories for less. What's particularly interesting about this recorder? This is a 6-track recorder. For most people, you're not going to need all this. For most people, you just want these 2 channels here. These 4 channels, most people don't need. But if you're doing a podcast, recording a band, chorus, conference, whatever, this way you can get all your files and mix it later. The way it records it only records 1 or 2 channels to each file. You get multiple parallel files, and you then take them from your card, load them into your editing system, and there you go. Now, a beauty of this recorder is that it's very simple to operate. In fact, it's manual that's included. It comes with 3 printed manuals, one in English, one in French, one in Spanish, are only 14 pages of instructions, which shows you how to do everything you need to know to record. Most of us record, pull this card out, put it in our system, and go from there. If you want to mix multiple channels, edit, and do all those other crazy things, you can find the online 104-page manual, which is probably a bit silly, kind of like those of us who read the manual so that in our car we can do everything from get the weather report to make 3-way phone calls on the screen in our car, when most of us just pick up the iPhone and do it the right way. Anyway, to operate it, it's really simple. Hold that. You're on. The menu system is very simple to operate. All you do is tap this menu button, and then you've got this lever here. One trick is, you'll see there's 5 main menus here. There's 5 more below it. To set anything, you just push this little controller straight in, and it's actually easier than the usual buttons. And now you can choose, for instance, if you want your low-cut filter, you can choose what tracks you want it on, and you work from there. It's actually really simple to operate. Those of you who know me well know that I'm real picky when it comes to how to operate things, and they need to be simple and to the point. This one is. This little screen is excellent. You're going to need your eyeglasses if you're an old fogey, like I am, to see what's going on. You'll notice I have the compressor set on for this. These level meters are pretty nifty. They actually, let's change the levels up here. They actually change color continuously as they get more towards red. There is a huge range of control. When you set these controllers here, this microphone built in, you can hear a pin drop. It's a very quiet microphone, very quiet preamps, lots of gain. It works extremely well. The other 4 inputs are your choice of 1/4 inch or XLR. There's no lock on these, so you have to be careful not to pull out your XLR cables while you're recording, but it also means that when you stick it in your pocket or stick it in a case, it's not going to grab on there. Now, this front module is interchangeable. Most of us would not have any, turn this off for safety's sake. Most of us will probably never change this, but if you want to, just push it in, take it off. You can buy, at extra cost, the MS microphone module. You can buy a module that allows you to have 2 more of these XLR 1/4 inch connector inputs with a preamplifier and 2 different level controls on it. You can also get a mono shotgun mic or a stereo shotgun mic to put on the front here. It's your choice. And as included, this microphone setup here comes included. You actually have a 3.5mm input for mic or line if you want a total of 6 electrical inputs. These can be adjusted to either 90 degrees or 120 degrees. They're always coincident like that. They don't move around. To choose line or microphone, there's simply a pad. These have a huge range of control. So if you leave them in the 0 dB position, it's for mics. You want to plug an instrument or a line level output, hit the pad to -20 like that, and you're good to go. To get the channels to work, this is a really simple recorder, and that's what I love about it. By default, these left-right are going to come on. They're always recorded as a stereo pair. That's these. The rest of these, you can push these buttons, and depending on how you push them and where, you can either light them up as a stereo pair or single channels. Record, boom, boom, there we go. Let's take a quick look at all the particulars here. We have the inputs. There's 1 and 2 input, the card, headphone output, volume control for the headphones is that. The nice thing about this recorder is, however it came from the factory, the volume control is just where I need it for my regular headphones to hear what's going on. You can hit hold to lock the buttons out so you don't accidentally stop them. Line out, never use that. Remote control. I'm not sure why you'd want that, but you can use a wired remote control. For instance, if you want to put it over here and control it to record yourself. Here's our old style USB. Now, this doesn't even come included with the USB cord for the 2020 edition, so you're going to have to go find an older style USB, which, there are plenty of them out there. I covered the menu controls. Here's inputs 3 and 4. On the back, it's offshore to China. It's not made domestically in Japan. It runs on 4 cells. I always use these Eneloops. It does come included with a set of 4 alkaline cells. It has your selection of numerous low-cut filter frequencies, and you can assign it where you want. The compressor and/or limiter, not only can you assign it to where it works, but you'll notice you have several presets of compressors or limiters. And of course, the compressor is another fancy name for automatic level control. It has a built-in decoder for mid-side recording if you want to use a mid-size microphone. You have phantom power available for all the inputs, and they can be turned on or off individually. Has plug-in power for the 3.5 millimeter inputs. You can control how the meters work. Isn't that cute? If you want a VU meter as well. That VU meter has 2 needles on it. Nifty. And it looks like it probably is reading about VU, because if I look back, if I get back out of here and look at the peak meter, yeah, that is a real live VU meter. Recording formats are the usual collections of MP3s, 44.1, 48, 96, and 16 or 24 bits. What's good about it is these microphones are extremely sensitive. They're probably more sensitive than any other little handy recorders I've used. Not that you're out recording pin drops, but if you wanted to, this would be the little handy recorder to do it. Any noise you hear in the recording is noise was actually at the scene when you were recording. It's not in the recorder. It's about as sensitive as my own ears. And if it gets loud, this is rated to work at 136 decibels, which is beyond the threshold of pain. A nifty thing about these tally lights is that even if you can't see the meters because you're recording yourself, if you overload the levels, these little devils blink like that. They do that on playback too, so you can set your levels while facing yourself. And that's most of what you need to know about the Zoom H6 recorder. You can read about it in more detail at my website, where I have a written review, and there's a link to it in the description. The main things to take away is it's extremely easy to use. Audio quality in all these recorders is about the same. If I'm going to be recording serious music, I'll use my American-made Apogee equipment and plug that directly into my Macintosh to record live. But for everything else for which we use a recorder like this, which is to record voice for YouTube videos, press events, weddings, you name it, these are what we use. And that's about it. That's what there is to know about the Zoom H6. It's super easy to use. It handles very well, which is a wonderful thing. I don't know how many of these little recorders I've used that really make it difficult to figure out what's going on. It records all the basics. It's got real live knobs. Although notice that although this one is ganged for stereo for these 2 mics or this input, all these others are not ganged. And if you want to try to do a fade in stereo, it's difficult to do. So you'd want to do that later in your software. Also, what I find is peculiar is it marks them left-right as if these are left and these are right. But the way it either records a stereo pair to 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, which would be 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So I think it really should be marked this as left and this is right. But who's counting? Thanks again for watching. KenRockwell.com, KenRockwell.tv, and RockwellAudio.com. This has been Ken Rockwell.